Hello and welcome to SC Rewind, a look back at the 13th season of RIT SportsZone.
For the second straight year, the RIT men's lacrosse team finished the regular season with an unblemished record, capturing their fourth straight Liberty League championship and the top seed overall in the NCAA tournament.
The top-ranked Tigers hosting Morrisville in the first round of the NCAA tournament at Tiger Stadium. Off the face-off, the Tigers on the attack, and Brad Gillies to Matt Hosick. RIT led 8-2. In the second, more offense from the Tigers. Kyle Ackwin feeds Alistair Warren, who scores the first of his 3 goals on the afternoon. The Tigers were up by 7. In the third, RIT added to their big lead. Brad Gillies feeds Ryan Lee for the goal. Lee led the Tigers with 4 goals and 2 assists. RIT cruises to a 24-3 victory over the Mustangs. It was on to the second round where RIT would face Union for the 3rd time this season in the second quarter. Watch the give and go between Ryan Lee and Alistair Warren. It was a 5-5 game at the half. Union would own the third quarter, scoring 3 times, including this goal from Charlie Ross. Union held RIT scoreless in a quarter for just the 2nd time this season as they led 8-5. But RIT would respond in the 4th. Brad Gillies scores unassisted to tie the game at 9. Final minute of regulation and still tied. Alistair Warren to Ryan Lee for the game winner. The Tigers survive and advance to the NCAA quarterfinals with a 10-9 victory over the Dutchman. RIT in the quarterfinals for a 6th straight year, taking on Cortland State at Tiger Stadium. Second quarter tied at 5 off the face-off. Matt Hosick comes up with it and feeds Chad Levick for the goal. RIT led 6-5 at the half. Second half, it was the Kyle Sturgeon and Eddie Kisa show. Here's Sturgeon, rips one home to give the Tigers a 2-goal lead. Then it's Sturgeon beating his defender to the cage and scoring unassisted. Sturgeon had 5 goals on the day, and RIT led 10-7 after 3 quarters of play. RIT would shut Cortland out in the 4th, and Eddie Kisa kept the offense rolling as he adds another goal. He led the Tigers with 6 as they moved on with an 18-7 win over the Red Dragons. Tigers now in the national semifinals for the 3rd straight season, facing defending champ Tufts. RIT had a strong first quarter. Senior Alistair Warren finds the back of the net. RIT led 5-1 after 1. In the second quarter, the Tufts offense came alive, led by John Upgren. The Jumbos would score 5 unanswered times to take a 7-5 lead. RIT would close the half with a pair of goals. Eddie Kisa finds Kyle Ackwin for the score. RIT trailed by just 1. Then 7 seconds later, off the face-off, RIT on the attack again. Matt Hosick scores to make it a 7-7 game at the half. Now, RIT was down 2 goals in the 3rd, but Matt Hosick brings the Tigers within 1 with his 2nd goal on the afternoon. Tufts led 11-10. But the Jumbos finished the final minute of the 3rd quarter with a flurry on offense. Tufts would score 3 times, including this one by Kyle Howard-Johnson. The Jumbos had a 4-goal advantage headed to the 4th, and Tufts would not relinquish that lead as they scored 5 more in the final quarter. The Jumbos end RIT season for a 2nd straight year, advancing to the national championship game with a 19-12 victory. With more, here's SportsZone's Laura DiMartino.
The RIT men's lacrosse team were dealt their first loss of the season, losing 19-12 at the hands of Tufts University. This is the 2nd year in a row the Jumbos have eliminated the Tigers in the NCAA semifinals.
Obviously, it's the same outcome. Again, I'm going to give Tufts the credit. They come out here and they played a great ball game, especially in the second half. I thought it was really even in the first half. In the second half, they came out and just made the plays down the stretch.
I think their goalie stood on his head. He made some amazing saves at perfect times and just couldn't bury the ball, which couldn't put up numbers.
I think they kind of beat us at our own game. We knew going into the game that we were both very similar teams that like to play fast, like to shoot the ball a lot, like to push transition. And I think in the second half they executed their game better than we did our game. and we just allowed them to get on runs, and we weren't able to really stop them when they were on those runs, and we weren't able to counter their runs either. We didn't capitalize on many of our chances in transition. They capitalized a lot of chances on their transition, and they stuck their shots when they had their chances, and their goalie came up with some big saves when we had ours, and I think that really just comes down to the difference in the game.
As a senior, was this game a little bit bittersweet for you? You've come so close to the finals 3 times. Does this one loss kind of hurt more than the other ones in the past?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to have another chance to play a game at RIT. I've had some great teammates. Coach Kuhn's been a phenomenal coach. Coach Wilkins, Coach McKee. I think the worst part about this loss is knowing that I won't have another chance to do it ever again. Every year it hurt equally as bad, but I think this year it's just tough knowing that there's no tomorrow.
So what needs to be changed for next year to get the team past this checkpoint into the finals?
I don't have that answer. We'll keep working at it, though. We've got to find the right people, the right players. I don't think we need to change much, but we do have to find a way to get over the hump here. Tufts is going to be good every year. They're going to be a great group every year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're right back in the semifinals this coming season. So we've got some great players, young players. Obviously Matt Hosick and Ryan Lee and Chad and Kyle Sturzen's coming back, and we have a couple good face-off guys. Hopefully they'll get better in the off-season. 2 great defensemen down there. We'll have to find a replacement for Pat, which will be tough, but we have some confidence in our younger guys, Jared Lee and a couple young guys, so we'll be all right.
So our plan is to, over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, to try to raise $15 million to be the cornerstone funding for a new hockey arena at RIT. I'm also very, very pleased to announce that 2 of our alums have stepped forward to make the first really significant gift.
I owe a ton to RIT. The time for the campaign was now, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
And having one of our own give back is the best. It's the best part of the story.
I am so pleased to tell you that our new arena, thanks to this $4.5 million gift from the Policini Family Foundation and Tom Golisano, will be named the Gene Policini Center.
3, 2, 1.
This is going to be a one-of-a-kind facility, totally dedicated to building school spirit.
We'll be able to bring in the best teams from around the country to RIT because they're going to want to play in this facility.
And the Tigers are going to send the Frank Ritter Arena out in style.
We don't say goodbye to Ritter, we say farewell. Farewell, old friend.
We get to move into something, that's going to be amazing, but, we're also moving on from something that has brought a lot to, I think, every player on this team and anyone that's gone through this rink.
And if we can recreate some of what we have, the magic, I guess, of Ritter in the new facility, then it's a home run.
Welcome back to SportsZone. A trip to the Frozen Four, a Division III national championship, and now the men and women competing at the highest level certainly has fueled the fandemonium surrounding RIT's Division I hockey programs.
But with greater interest, the Tigers quickly outgrew Ritter Arena. RIT's campaign to build a new home for hockey kicked off in 2010, and this past fall, the state-of-the-art 4,000-seat Gene Policini Center was unveiled.
For the first time in 46 years, RIT has a new home for hockey. In September, the $38 million, 112,000 square foot Gene Policini Center was officially unveiled.
They say my role at Paychex was that I was the visionary. Let me tell you what Gene Policini was. He was the soul of the company.
How special is it for you to help create a legacy dedicated to Gene Policini?
It's very special. Gene and I go back to when we were kids. We spent so much time together. We had so much fun together. We went through tragedies together. And Gene was a very important and integral part of Paychecks. And it's too bad we lost him. And it's been almost a dozen years. But to come here and feel this environment on behalf of Gene Policini, I couldn't be happier.
Tom and Gene were closer than most brothers are. And although Gene tried to get him into hockey, Tom didn't want to have any part of it. But he grew up and, the two of them intermingled. And I think the hockey, too, is a little bit of a way for Tom to keep my husband alive. So we're really very grateful to Tom for partnering with us. We can think of nobody else closer to the family than Tom is to do this with us.
What do the donors like Tom Golisano and the Policini Foundation mean to the institution of RIT?
If they don't step up, it doesn't happen. That's the way it is, okay? You can't build this thing entirely on institutional funds. It doesn't even make any sense to do that. You can't ask students to pay tuition to build a hockey arena. So that's a tremendous, tremendous step. And they step forward because they believe in RIT and they also believe in the Rochester community.
What do you think this building is going to do for RIT hockey as a whole?
I think it's going to be really tremendous boost. We were able to keep the steep benches from the Ritter, so I think that closeness of the fan experience to the game, the loudness will still be there, but there'll be so many more amenities.
I think it's going to be really different and in a good way. I mean, we love the Ritter, we loved playing there. This is a completely different atmosphere. I mean, we're so fortunate to have this. Just all of the amenities in this rink are absolutely incredible. Like the video boards, having that increase in space for everyone, our new locker room facilities, it's going to be absolutely outstanding playing our first game here, and we can't wait.
Where does this building rank in terms of other rinks you visited or been to in your career?
Well, I haven't seen, really, to be honest with you, many better than this. I've seen bigger buildings, there's no question. Some of the Big Ten has some big buildings. It's going to be interesting once our fans get in here, but I just think with what we want from amenities from a hockey standpoint, what our fans want from amenities from the spectator standpoint, and the environment that we're going to have here, I just don't see anything better. And I put Ritter up against all the big boys too, and now with this facility, I think it's 2 times better, and it's going to be that much more exciting.
Welcome back to SportsZone. Last March, RIT stunned the college hockey world, winning the CHA championship in just their second year at the Division I level. This season, the Tigers finished last in the conference, but earned a trip back to the CHA championship after a first-round sweep of Robert Morris and a 4-1 victory over top seed Mercyhurst.
RIT facing Syracuse for the CHA championship. We pick up the action in the third period, just 30 seconds in. Lindsey Grigg gets RIT on the board and ties the game at 1. Allie Binnington was big all tournament long, here making one of her 44 saves on the day. Binnington was named tournament MVP. This one would go to double overtime. And in the second extra session, Carly Perro beats Jen Gilligan for the game winner. RIT wins the CHA championship for the second straight year, 2-1, and advances to the Division I NCAA tournament for the first time in program history.
What was going through your head when you scored that goal and your team comes rushing down to you?
I actually couldn't believe it. I just turned towards the bench and everyone was rushing out at me, and it was just so exciting. We just kept screaming, we couldn't stop. I just got the puck from Colby. I broke down the ice and just shot over a glove. I was just so excited it went in. It's just unbelievable.
Last year you scored the game winner in this rink on the same side of the ice, and Carly does it this year. Is there something about the playoffs that just brings out the best in you guys?
Yeah, I think that, we just really get up for these big games. They're so important to us, and I think we just knew that we didn't want our season ending today. So, we pushed through it, and we battled through it and came out on top in the end.
Back-to-back CHA champs. What was going through your head when Carly put that one home?
I can't even speak right now. It's just unreal that it happened again. And you just see her kind of was winding up, and you're just like, just get it through the defenseman, because that's a made-up screen right there that's a tough save for the goaltender to make. And then you just like, wow, it went in, and you just start. It's like pandemonium on the bench, and it's just like, wow, did it again in double overtime, and what a crew! Like they just don't quit, they don't give up.
What can you say about Allie Bennington and how good she is in the playoffs?
Allie Bennington is amazing. She's our rock. She's our backbone. She keeps us in games. She protects her net. She protects the school. She does her job, and she does it well.
Did the experience of last year knowing how to handle a double overtime game help you in the same kind of game this year?
Yeah, I mean, because we knew what we were capable of, so we had that confidence going in, and we talked about that in the room too. We're a team that knows how to win championships. We're a team that knows how to win those games, and no matter how many overtimes, we're going to keep going until we won it. So I think definitely gave us some experience last year, and it helped us out a lot today.
Last year after this game, you knew the season was over. Now you're going to the NCAA tournament. How much different is that?
Oh, it's huge. We just made history by going to the NCAA tournament. Especially, our third year D1, and we're going to a place that only Elite 8 schools go. It's, again, spectacular, and I don't think there's really any words to it.
I mean, it feels amazing. As a senior class, we've made a step forward every year, so this is just another huge step for our program, huge step for our RIT, and huge step for us, and we couldn't be more excited. We're on an active 5-game winning streak right now, so we're looking to keep it going.
You know what? Now it's not the unknown because we have the older girls that have been in a national tournament, but this is as big as it gets. This is so exciting. What a monster step for our program. Like, these girls literally just made history, and to be live in it and see it, like what these girls accomplish on the ice, like literally never ceases to amaze me.
For the first time since 2010, the RIT men's hockey team hoisted the Atlantic Hockey Association Championship.
The Tigers earned an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, and as the 16th seed, the lowest in the field, they earned a date with the top overall seed, Minnesota State Mankato.
The Corner Crew was well represented at the Midwest Regional Semifinal in South Bend, Indiana. First period action. Alexander Kukali gets the Tigers on the board. In the first, with his 5th goal of the year, RIT led 1-0 after 1. Second period action. RIT a man down, and the Mavericks make them pay as CJ Franklin beats Jordan Ruby to tie the game at 1. It would stay that way until late in the third. Josh Mitchell, the shot and the goal, but it would initially be waved off because of interference. They would review the play, and the call was reversed. RIT took a 2-1 lead and would hold on for the victory, becoming the first 16 seed to be the #1 seed in college hockey history. The Tigers advance to the Midwest Regional Final to face off against Nebraska Omaha with a trip to Boston and the Frozen Four on the line. RIT had plenty of chances all night here in the first. Chase Norris with the blast from the blue line. No. McGowan the rebound. Even Josh Mitchell had a crack at it, but Ryan Massa made the big save. Jordan Ruby made some big stops too. In the second, Ruby with the stop, and watch Mark Goldberg with the clear. It was scoreless after 2. Just a minute into the third, and Omaha strikes first as Jack Randolph scores 1-0 Omaha. Late in the period, RIT with a costly giveaway, and Omaha makes them pay. Austin Ortego scores to make it 2-0. Just over a minute later, Omaha with a breakaway, and Justin Parisak beats Ruby glove side. Omaha would add an empty netter. They go on to beat RIT 4-0 to earn a trip to the Frozen Four.
And the Mavericks of Omaha come in with one more chance. They won't get it. They're going to win this game by a final of 4-0. They advance to the Frozen Four for the first time in program history. Disappointment for RIT.
It's always difficult to find words what to say at this time when you come in and you've just lost your game and end of your season. But again, to Nebraska Omaha, I thought they played a great game. I thought it was a great hockey game. Very proud of the way we played, and obviously disappointed with the loss. But it's going out with these guys this year. I couldn't be prouder, and I thought we still played hard and we still played the right way, and sometimes you just don't get the bounces.
Chances. Here's one, they score! Omaha, Randolph took the drop.
Yeah, that first goal is important at this time of year in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. I mean, you look at the all around the country and the games that have been played, that first goal is huge, and then you get the second one, it's kind of game over.
Here's a chance, they score! Austin Ortega!
Obviously, you know, they're after that first goal, they, you know, were sparked a bit more than they were, and you know, it was tough to find our legs there, I guess, a little bit. But you know what, we were just trying to grind it out, and you know, there were a lot of times where we were just shaking our head, kind of frustrated.
What a save by Massa! Face-off coming up in the Omaha.
A lot of the credit goes to Ryan. He kept us in for a while and the whole game, and without him, been a whole new game.
Doesn't have anything, puts on net. Massa bobbles it, and it leads to a scram and a second chance by Cameron coming late.
It's just my job, you know. On the roster, I'm listed as a goalie, so my job is to, you know, keep the puck out of the net at whatever cost it may be. So, for me, it was just a matter of time. You know, I just had to keep the boys settled, and fortunately, you know, Randy found the back of the net first, and then from there, you know, like I said, we just kept rolling. You know, they were a physical bunch. They put on, you know, one hell of a fight.
Hold his post there and get a pad on that. Good play by him and a good save to keep this a scoreless game here.
Yeah, they're a good hockey team. Obviously, you know, well coached, and they play a short pass game, and obviously a lot of talent, especially that top line of theirs.
Really proud of our seniors getting back to the tournament and their play and the bar that they set for our program again, and really proud of this group of players. And every year it's different, different dynamics on a team, and this is a really fun group to coach and to be around all year long. And you know, it was really a fun group, and you know, some years are just a little bit more fun, and it's not always about wins and losses. It's just being around the group and how they work every day, and you know, just their attitude around the rink on tough days and in good days.
I know I'm just grateful that we got this far, and I'm just proud of the boys and how well they worked, and they made a name for themselves. We put RIT back on that map nationally, and people now know it's RIT and not RIT.
Well, that does it for yet another season of RIT SportsZone.
Don't forget, you can stay up to date with SportsZone by following us on Twitter and Instagram, liking us on Facebook, or by downloading our app for your Android or Apple device.
So until next time, thanks for joining us in the zone.